need to be luckier than that. I'll cut you open. You'll have to do better than that. I can't believe it. We actually found it.
I knew it!
Gonna cry now? Huh? Oh.
You've got to help me. I conjured an Ash Guardian and now it's running amok. Thank you. I was hoping you would. Hurry. I'll keep Master Neloth distracted. Is it done? Is the Ash Guardian gone? What a relief. Master Neloth surely would have punished me had he found out. I can't pay you, but I could teach you the Ash Guardian spell. Although maybe that doesn't sound like a good idea to you after this. I do have a staff I could give you instead, if you think the Ash Guardian spell is too risky. All right, but remember, don't cast this without a heart stone. Otherwise, the Guardian will attack everyone, including you. That's right. Don't be like me and have to learn the hard way. Here's the spell tome and a heartstone so you can try it safely. Oh, it turns out that the spell requires a heartstone to cast properly. I didn't have one with me when I cast it. If you cast the spell without a heartstone, it attacks anything in sight. Not recently. Neloth keeps me very busy with spell research. Ask Alenia. She and Verona seem to be quite friendly. Until next time.
Time to die.
I'm gonna bleed you!
Good day, friend. Keeping well?
Have you found Verona yet? I could really use some tea. Dead? Well, that's annoying. How did she die? There are more and more of those things showing up around here lately. Oh, I suppose you'll have to find me a new steward. Try Raven Rock. They are in awe of me there. I'm sure almost anyone would be willing to serve me. Excellent question. Once word gets out, there will be a lot of people to choose from. Someone with a brilliant mind and a robust physique that is blindly obedient would be ideal. Oh, and they need to know how to brew tea. Ulves always waters it down. I do have a new spell I'm working on. I hope to be able to conjure ash spawn. If I could get a sample of ash from an ash spawn, that would be quite useful. I've made this special tool that will extract... Well, you don't need to know the details. Just go harvest a sample. Of course, the creature will have to be dead first, but I trust that's something you can bring about. Don't take too long finding me a steward.
Did you hear something?
There's something you need. Yes, Cyril?
With me? What's the matter with you?
Sorry, I've just had a lot of hawk-faced cowards coming by to mock my efforts. It probably can't hurt to tell you. You look mostly honest.
The name's Rollis. Rollis Sedaris, out of Moorhold. I've got a financier waiting for me back on the mainland. Sent me here in the interests of obtaining some rare antiquities. The relics of Arzador.
But this whole thing became a disaster right quick, let me tell you. You come out of the Northern Ashlands, you don't expect things to go easy, you know. But this was something outside my particular expertise. When I first got to Kolbjorn, you couldn't even see it. Buried in the ash, like most other things on this blasted island. Dug out a pile of the stuff taller than me just to find the barrow. Who knows how much to reach the door. Excavating isn't exactly my specialty. Even if it was, the ash storms fill it in faster than you can think. You think I've got that kind of money? No. I only get paid on delivery. Can't afford to go out of pocket for 1,000 septims on this. Takes money to make money, all that rot. There's a lot of it at the other end. But I can't get there without a little kick to start it off. You ever hear of Arzador? He was the first great Nord enchanter, maybe even the first human to master elven methods. His best work was buried with him, though. A set that my patron calls the relics are supposed to be down in his tomb. Now, they're old, and they're powerful. A combination like that makes them pretty valuable to certain people. And I happen to know certain people. What? Are you serious? Well, I think I could make that work. We can sort out the details of our little arrangement later. But for now, I'll manage the dig if you can manage the coin. Do you have the gold? It's all here. Well then, looks like I have a good bit of work to start on. I'll head back to Raven Rock and round up some diggers. Once we've got something worth looking at, I'll send word. Pleasure doing business with you, partner. I'll see you soon.
You look able to venture outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost. A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived. Oh, Vala bless you. You found it. Well, you've certainly proven your worth around here to me. Please accept this gift as a token of my appreciation. Admiral Arano, second counselor of Raven Rock. How I hate that title. Damn fool's going to get himself killed over it someday. He's in grave danger, and yet he continues to place himself in harm's way. When I fall asleep at night, all I can do is hope he'll still be there when I awaken. This island was never meant for us. There's too much death here. I assure you, if I could convince Admiral to do that, I'd be on the next ship back to Blacklight. Unfortunately, Admiral and Councillor Morvain are very close friends, and they will never abandon one another, despite my feelings. I'm the wife of a second counselor, and certain things are expected of me. The most important thing is that I stand by Admiral no matter how I feel, and I intend to do that until we get off this miserable rock. Admiral and I lived in Blacklight, the capital city of Morrowind. House Redoran has improved Blacklight substantially over the last 1,000 years. Its grandeur rivals that of Mournhold itself. The root spire where the Council of Great Houses meet is something to behold. I haven't seen the city in over 50 years. Even for a Dunmer, that seems like an eternity. Regardless, I hope to return there someday, which doesn't seem likely given my husband's commitment to Councillor Morvain. I could never leave Adril behind, and he will never leave Lerol. Besides, I'd never work for Neloth. I heard he cut the heart out of his former apprentice. Good journey, traveler.
Remarkable, isn't it? This tomb has been hidden for, well, who knows how long. Many centuries, I would think. There are some sealed doors up ahead. Perhaps you can figure out how to get them open. Interesting thing I've found is this inscription here, and a switch below it. Now, I'm not sure if you can read the dragon language, but this seems to be a riddle of some sort. A sacrifice will bring you closer to that which you seek. I wonder what it means. Mind your step. There seem to be some corpses strewn about on the floor here. You go ahead and see what you can figure out. I'll look around and see if I can find anything of use. Who knows what dangers await us in this place? Doing. Why don't you lead the way? I expect there's another riddle in here, along with a puzzle. Continue along the path. Don't tread where you've been. Interesting. Well, I'm pretty sure about two things. One, the riddle is most likely referring to these flat, square stones. And two, I'm not going anywhere near them. I wonder if I should have brought more torches. Let's be extra careful. Most certainly, the translation was, continue along the path. Don't tread where you've been. Have you tried to walk on the plates without stepping on the same one twice? Only 5 more to go. Let's just hit the left. Splendid! The gates have opened. Closer look at these runes. More of the dragon. The runes are faded. I believe I can translate the inscription. This writing refers to God who inspired both men and dragons. I wonder if the guardian was himself a man or a dragon. Looks like a symbol along the way. You lead the way. Pillars. Other than that plaque, there doesn't seem to be anything else worthy of note. Let's see what the inscription says. All men must die, often by their own means. Sounds rather grim if you ask me. The inscription must be a reference to these pillars. Three pillars surrounding a central one. Perhaps they're connected somehow. They also have glowing stones of some kind at the top. Vaguely similar to drawings I've seen of objects called impact stones. Well, see what you can figure out. I'm going to inspect these pillars further to see if I've missed something. Who knows what dangers await us in this place? Well, there's a warrior, an archer, and a mage. Perhaps each statue is meant to represent a different method of combat. Right behind you. I wonder how long it took the ancient lords to build this. Ah, that's the trick. There you go. Now let's see what mysteries await us in the next room. There's another wall with dragon language inscriptions on it. Let's find out what's written. The writing describes a guardian of someone named Mirak. In fact, if I'm reading this correctly, it says that Mirak was a traitor. Most interesting. There's probably an exit through one of these sarcophagi. Let's get moving. So that's where that goes. All right. Now just unlock the other one. All right. Let's see what we have next. Here's another riddle. Stay your course. To idle is to die. Well, at least it's straightforward. I'll just stand over here while you flip that switch. I'm sure everything will be fine. By the nine, I've never seen anything like this. They appear to be platforms entirely of magical form. They're remarkable. If you can keep up with the platforms, you should be able to get across the chasm. Let's be extra careful. At times like this, history truly comes alive for me. Splendid. I had no doubt you'd make it across. Let's see what awaits us ahead. That looks like quite a drop. Is there something moving down there? Who knows what games await us in this place? Just me? Are these I'm glad these platforms appear one too fast. I want to find out what's down in that water. Walking in these chambers is like walking in the past. Just remember to stay focused. And most importantly, run. Walking in these chambers is like walking in the past. That's cool. Careful. They seem too damaged to read. Looks like it needs some sort of key. Maybe those half-claws you found would fit in here if you put them together. It seems these rings can be moved. Perhaps there's enough undamaged text in these etchings to tell us the combination. Ah, yes. Here's something. The first one has to do with the breeze. Maybe it's wind. The second one mentions the night sky and the moon. And the third has something to do with fire. It also seems to mention stairs. That's all I can make out from this etching. I'll check the rest and see if there's anything else. You keep trying out the combinations. There you go. I didn't doubt you for a second. Let's see what's on ahead. There's another of those dragon languages. Wonder what it is. Just let me study these runes for a moment. Here's another mention of the ground. I assume this is the Guardian's tomb we're standing in now. It says that he was loyal, and his reward was an honorable death. Quite fascinating. How amazing! A real dragon priest! In all my years as a historian, I never thought I'd see anything like that. I suppose that was Valak. He must have had this entire place built for him so that he could maintain his vigil, even beyond death. Indeed. I knew that the dragon priests were thought to have been powerful men of great will, but I had no idea. Well, I suppose I've seen everything I came for. You kept up your end of the bargain. I promised payment, and here it is. Now I think I'll spend some more time studying this word war. What a book this will make!
dead. You dare hide from me? The living shall fear the dead.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine. Not on your life. I'd have to be truly desperate to do that.
Mogrel doesn't lend coin to outlanders.
Teldrin Serra, blade for hire. If you have the coin, I'm at your service.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Working on those standing stones feels like a bad dream. I'm glad you woke us from it. You mean leave Raven Rock for good? To go work for a crazed Telvanni wizard? Sure. Just let me get me things. On second thought, never mind. I can get new stuff. Well, I've never been one to pass up an opportunity. Sorry to run, but I'm off to my new job.
Tell me, what did he say?
He said he'll meet you where you met for the first time. He said you know what it means. Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. Have you seen the poor girl? She's a mess. Oh, she used to be richer than Councillor Morvain, and she's spending it all drowning her sorrow. As much as I love making coin, I can't watch her do that anymore. I won't. I suppose you're right. If she wants to spend her life at the bottom of an ale mug, it's her choice. Tell her she's welcome back any time. The finest Sioux jammer to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujama. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kinda hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujama and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you.
Glover Mallory is a wonder with a hammer and anvil. He mended my armor like an old...
I'll give you this warning only once. Stay out of my way, and we'll do just fine. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Fight well.
Don't pity me. And don't look at me like that. I know what I am. Well then, I suppose I'm off to do what I do best. Here, this was something I carried around in happier times. Maybe you can find a use for it. The day I refuse Sujama from Geldis is the day I sprout wings and fly off this rock. See you in the mines. Better than any man in the mines.
You got a good thing going here now that you've reopened the mines. Don't let it go to waste. Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Tam Layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. I caused it. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect. Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers, but he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there. You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed. Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
It's busier now that things are starting to look up.
I know what I am.
Mining gear? No. However, I used to sell East Empire pendants until I ran out of them. Popular little item. It's an amulet that was made exclusively for the East Empire Company. They gave them to their workers as an incentive at one point, a kind of reward for extra effort. They're no longer being made, so they've become a collectible. I'd love to get my hands on a few of them. They could be anywhere on the island. The mines might be a good place to start. If you find any while you're exploring Solstheim, bring them here, and I'll pay you for them. Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks. The East Empire pendants are scattered all over, so leave no stone unturned.
Are you here to pray? Or perhaps pay your respects at our ancestral tomb? There where we inter our dead. They are sacred places, meant to honor their passing. Sadly, we've been unable to use the ancestral tomb beneath the temple as of late, and have resorted to other locations to scatter the remains. Those foul vermin, the abominations we call ash spawn, have risen from the ashes of our own ancestors. They're befouling the memories of our forefathers by defiling their remains. Thank you, Wanderer. That would be most kind. Here, this key should open the door to the tomb.
You honor the reclamations with your actions. This will not be forgotten. Spirits be praised. I'm hoping you didn't suffer much at the hands of those foul beings.
Please, accept this as a token of my thanks.
May Azura, Mafala, and Boethia guide you.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend?
You've brought Raven Rock back. Oh, how kind. Thank Gelders for me, won't you? Good journey, traveler.
The mines are open and the ebony has begun to flow because of your discovery. My eternal gratitude and blessings go with you, friend. Good old Geldis is always managing to keep our spirits up, and our eyesight hazy. Thank you.
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sujamma that will ever grace your lips. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself.
Find a new steward for us quickly. Master Neloth is making me do all her work.
Back so soon? That Drovus man? I suppose he'll do. He makes dreadful Canis root tea, though. But I should be grateful. Here, take this for your efforts. Oh, and you may use my staff enchanter if you want. Curse these heart stones! I've been having difficulties with my heart stone experiments. Have you heard of the Briar Hearts? They are fierce warriors of the Forsworn tribes. They actually remove their own hearts and replace them with large briar seeds. It puts their life sparks in direct connection to the natural forces. I need you to examine one of them. Just investigate as much as you can. I'm going to put this memory trace spell on you, so you won't have to worry about taking notes. I doubt you could know what was important anyway. The Forsworn live in the hills on the western edge of Skyrim. From there, you're on your own. I'm given to understand that they are not difficult to find, if you gather my inference. Well, I'm hoping to do something similar. If I could connect a living being to the forces of the Red Mountain, well, that would be formidable. I've done some experiments in this area, but, well, my test subjects are far too fragile. I'm hoping to learn some of the Briarheart techniques, their methods. I would venture out myself, but long voyages are dangerous, and risks are precisely what people like you avoid. The man makes a dreadful cup of Canis root tea. However, he seems to run the place well enough. Oh, were you fishing for a compliment, a sign of gratitude? Don't waste your time. Those things are for the weak and foolish. Well done. Here are some septums for your troubles. If you come back in a day or two, I should have the spell worked out. You can buy it from Talvis. Are we done? I thought so.
Seems you've inherited a situation. Drovus Relvi owes me 1,000 septims. At least he did until you set him up with that Telvanni wizard. Now he's untouchable. The way I figure it, it's your fault he can't pay me. So I guess I'm going to have to collect it from you. Nothing for now, but watch it. One way or the other, I'll get my money. Tired of running? I knew you were weak. Now pay me. Yeah, that sounds good. Half. I think that'll work. Until next time.
May your weapon, finest weapons and armor.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see. Got this from a pretty excited-looking dark elf around Raven Rock. He said it was important I got it to you as soon as I could. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Oh, it's you. This isn't good.
We only got a little ways in when something managed to wake up the Draugr. Before I could blink, all the miners were dead, and I was next in line. Don't think anyone else made it out alive.
This is what I get for skimping on labor.
Well, unless you want to deal with the Draugr, this whole little venture of ours is over. Might be over either way. It looked like a dead end before the place started crawling.
We could have missed something, though. I don't know.
Any luck? Well, perhaps there's some hope for us yet. Now, I have to go recruit some more miners. It won't be easy, seeing as none of their friends came back from the first attempt. We'll have to sweeten the pot a bit this time. I think I'll need, say, 2,000 septims to hire replacements. I never get tired of that sound. It'll take me a few days to dig up some more laborers, but swing back when you get a chance. See how we're doing.